So the name of the studio, Yil Lull. Yil Lull means to sing. And that name was gifted to us here, to me as from Uncle Joey Gaia, famous Aboriginal artist who, you know, was active in the 80s and the 90s and wrote a lot of, you know, I want to say anthemic sort of Aboriginal songs, Aboriginal rights. And he wrote the song Yil Lull for the Aboriginal flag at the time. But it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of developed into this unofficial anthem, I guess, of Indigenous people. And there's a really nice moment in time for me, actually, a personal moment, that he was given a guest lecture here at the School of Music in an ethnomusicology class. And I just wanted to go and support him, and I sat at the back of the class. And I walked in and he started his lecture by singing a song, and he sang Yil Lull, which I've heard 1,000 times before, you know, or more, from him. And just in that moment, I felt like he was singing the song directly to me. Yeah, there was just an incredible, overwhelming feeling, I guess, of like, you know, that song was being delivered to me in that moment. And that's when it hit me that, you know, we're going to call the studio Yil Lull Studio. And so after the class, I asked him, I sat your coffee and, you know, have a yarn, I want to ask you something. And he just had the biggest grin on his face. And, you know, as soon as I said, look, I'm searching for a name for the studio, and he said, yeah. And I said, and you just sang Yil Lull, and I felt like you were singing it to me. He said, yeah. And I said, I just had the Yil Lull name in my head. And he said, yeah, well, go on then, like that. And it was a blessing, and it happened in the right time and at the right moment, and all the feelings were correct and just fell into place. And so he said, you take that name and you brand it on that door and name it Yil Lull Studio. It's so great to have a company like Yamaha Australia come on board and support this initiative. Yamaha Australia has graciously gifted us with a whole swag of instruments and equipment. And they were really, really impressed with the space and where this can lead to. You know, I've been a musician all my life, and I've been a studio engineer producer for the last 20 years or so. And falling into this role, I feel like every step that I've taken along my journey, my path has led me to here, you know, because this is such an important initiative for our people. Like, in this creative space, this is really unheard of, you know, having a place to create for free for Indigenous artists, be able to offer, you know, world-class standards in recording quality and equipment and things like that is really unheard of, you know. If you want to think of the Australian National University as servicing, you know, being a part of this kind of connection to the whole country rather than just this region, then it's important that a place like this has its beginnings here, you know, and is grounded here, and it reaches out from here right across the country as well.